Now we're taking a look at a non-riparian meander line adjustment, also known as a broken boundary. I'm not really sure exactly why they call it a non-riparian meander line, because it is used to adjust meander lines, and it would also be used if you were retracing a ridge line and it wasn't monumented at every point. For the angle points, it would be a good way to adjust a ridge line as well. But anyhow, let's take a look at it. It's basically just a compass rule adjustment. So here you have the record. This corner's found, and this corner's found, and these intermediate corners are lost. And so starting here, you run the record, north 65 degrees, 17 minutes east, 12 chains, and you put a temporary point here. Then south 75 degrees, 35 minutes east, 25 chains, you put a temporary point here. Then north 44 degrees, 17 minutes east, 17 chains, you put a temporary point here. And then you measure the distance from this temporary point to the existent corner, which is north 10 degrees, 12 minutes west, 2 chains. Well, in a compass rule, all you're really doing is you're holding this bearing constant throughout, and then you're making a proportion based on the closing length. In proportion to the length traversed. And so first thing I'm going to do is say, okay, 12 is to 54. 54 is the summation of 12, 25, and 17. And 12 is the distance from here to here. Is to x sub 1 is to 2 chains, which is the closing distance here. And you get x sub 1 is 0.44 chains. So I move along the closing bearing north 10 degrees 12 minutes west from the temporary point, 0.44 chains, and that's where that lost corner goes. Next is this corner. Remember, it's along the length traverse, so it's 12 plus 25 is to the whole. It's to x sub 2 is to 2 chains, which is the closing distance. So x sub 2 is 1.37 chains. So again, from here, I hold this bearing, north 10 degrees, 12 minutes, and I go 1.37 chains, and that sets my lost corner at that point. And here I put just a couple notes. It's the compass rule adjustment. The closing bearing remains the same in proportion to the closing distance. And it's relatively simple. If you can do a compass rule adjustment, you shouldn't have any problems with this particular methodology.